Hi! Welcome to Story Time. In the quiet hamlet of Drowshire, nestled between rolling hills and whispering woods, there lived a woman named Lady Mocha. She was no ordinary soul. Her hair flowed like rivers of dark chocolate, her eyes shimmered with the golden hue of dawn, and her voice, so soft it could lull the wildest storm to sleep, held secrets older than the oaks that guarded the village. The townsfolk spoke of her in hushed tones, for she was the keeper of an ancient brew, a potion so mysterious it was said to cradle the drinker into the deepest, most restful slumber imaginable. Yet, no one knew its recipe, and Lady Mocha guarded it like a dragon hoards gold. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and painted the sky in shades of lavender and amber, the villagers would see her silhouette against the flickering light of her cottage window. She'd hum a tune, a melody that floated on the breeze, wrapping around the homes like a warm blanket. It wasn't just her song that drew them near, though. It was the scent. A rich, velvety aroma of roasted beans, sweet cream, and something unplaceable, a hint of mystery that made your eyelids heavy just by breathing it in. They called it the whispering elixir, and it was the heart of every whispered tale in Drowshire. One autumn night, when the leaves crunched underfoot and the air grew thick with the promise of frost, a stranger arrived. His name was Elias, a wiry man with a restless gaze and a cloak that billowed like shadows in the wind. He heard the legends of Lady Mocha's brew from a traveler in a distant tavern, a man who'd claimed it wasn't just sleep it granted, it was dreams so vivid they could unravel the future. Elias, a wanderer plagued by sleepless nights and unanswered questions, had come to claim it for himself. He knocked on her door, the sound echoing through the still night like a pebble dropped in a pond. Lady Mocha opened the door, her presence as calming as a lullaby. "What brings you here, traveler?" she asked, her voice a gentle ripple. Elias, though weary, stood tall. "I seek your elixir," he said. "I've not slept in weeks, and I need answers only dreams can give." She studied him, her golden eyes narrowing ever so slightly. "The brew chooses its drinker," she replied. "Stay the night, and we'll see if it calls to you." The cottage was warm, its walls lined with shelves of jars, some filled with coffee beans, others with dried herbs that glowed faintly in the candlelight. A fire crackled in the hearth, sending shadows dancing across the room. Elias sat on a cushioned chair, his body sinking into it as though it were made of clouds. Lady Mocha moved to a small cauldron over the fire, stirring something that bubbled softly. The scent hit him first, deep, earthy, with a sweetness that made his shoulders loosen. "What's in it?" he asked, his voice already softening. "A secret," she said with a smile, passed down from a princess who loved sleep more than her crown. "It's not just a drink, it's a journey." She poured the dark liquid into a clay mug, steam rising in lazy spirals. "Drink slowly," she instructed, handing it to him. "Let it whisper to you." Elias hesitated, the mug warm in his hands. The suspense of what might happen gnawed at him, but exhaustion won. He took a sip. The flavor was unlike anything he'd known, smooth as silk, with a richness that coated his tongue and a warmth that spread through his chest like a sigh. His eyelids fluttered, but he fought to stay awake, desperate to uncover the brew's secret. "Tell me more," he murmured, his words slurring slightly. Lady Mocha sat across from him, her humming filling the room. "Long ago," she began, "there was a princess named Lotte. She ruled a kingdom restless with war, her nights stolen by worry. One day, a wandering alchemist gifted her a brew, a potion to quiet her mind. She drank it, and for the first time, she slept. But her dreams showed her more than peace, they showed her the path to save her people." Elias leaned forward, the mug trembling in his grip. "Did she share it?" he asked, his voice a whisper now. Lady Mocha's eyes glinted. "She did, but only with those who earned it. The brew has a will of its own, it tests you." The room seemed to sway, the fire's glow dimming as Elias took another sip. The suspense tightened, what would it demand of him? His thoughts grew hazy, drifting like leaves on a slow river. He saw flashes, shadows moving in a forest, a woman's laughter, a cup spilling over with starlight. Was this the elixir's test? Hours passed, though it felt like minutes. Lady Mocha watched him, her humming unbroken. Elias's head dipped, the mug slipping from his hands, but she caught it before it hit the floor. He was asleep, his breathing deep and even, a faint smile tugging at his lips. The brew had chosen him, but what it showed him remained a mystery. For now, the next morning, Elias awoke to the sound of birdsong and the scent of fresh bread. His cloak was folded neatly beside him, and the fire had burned to embers. Lady Mocha stood by the window, gazing at the hills. "Did you find your answers?" she asked without turning. Elias rubbed his eyes, feeling lighter than he had in years. "I saw something," he said. "A forest, a voice. It felt important, but I don't understand it yet." She nodded. "The elixir speaks in riddles. Stay another night, and it might grow clearer." He did. Night after night, Elias returned, each sip of the brew pulling him deeper into a world of dreams. The suspense kept him coming back. Was it leading him to treasure, danger, or simply more sleep? The forest in his visions grew vivid, trees whispered his name, and a figure in a hooded robe beckoned him forward. One night, he saw her face, Lady Mocha, but younger, crowned with flowers. "You're her," he gasped, waking with a start. She was there, stirring the cauldron as always. "The princess?" he asked. She smiled faintly. "A descendant, perhaps. The brew binds us all, past, present, dreams, and waking." "What did it show you tonight?" Elias hesitated. "You, leading me somewhere. A cave, I think." Her humming stopped, and for the first time, suspense flickered in her eyes. "A cave," she repeated. "That's new." She handed him the mug again. "Drink. We'll find out together." The final night was the deepest yet. The brew tasted stronger, its warmth sinking into his bones. He drifted into the dream, through the forest, past the figure, and into a cave where a spring bubbled with liquid gold. The air hummed with voices, and he felt a pull, a longing to stay. But then he heard her, Lady Mocha, calling him back. "Not yet," she whispered, and he woke, gasping, in her cottage. "It's real, isn't it?" he said, his voice thick with sleep. "The cave, the spring, it's out there." She nodded slowly. "The elixir doesn't just grant sleep, it reveals what's hidden. But the journey's yours now." Elias left that morning, a map sketched from his dreams in hand. The brew's secret lingered in his mind, a quiet promise of rest and discovery. As he walked into the hills, the scent of roasted beans faded, but the drowsiness stayed, pulling him gently towards sleep and whatever lay beyond. And that, my sleepy friends, is the end of the whispering elixir of Lady Mocha. I hope it's wrapped you in a cozy haze and sent you drifting toward dreams. If you enjoyed this tale, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Storytime, and join us next time for more soothing stories. Sweet dreams from Storytime.
Thanks for your time. Please subscribe. Don't forget to press the bell icon for more.